I'm Cher, for some of you who don't know. Today I just wanted to make a video to talk about something that I've been working on the past 2-3 weeks. It's just regards to things that have been happening. If you are on social media and if you have seen the news, you would know about hate crimes against the Asian community, especially the BESEA community, which is the British East and Southeast Asian community, here in the UK and also in America and probably in other countries as well. And I think it's kind of time, and also I've come to a point where I find it very difficult to ignore these things that are happening, the things that I'm seeing, and I know that it is something that has gone on for many years, but I've never really taken it upon myself to make it personal, and I've never felt the need to speak up about it. I had to write the way that I think about certain things, the way I responded to certain things. I wasn't brought up here in the UK, and so there's always this culture to kind of like, I hear people say to me when I was younger to, mind your own business and not cause trouble, and when you see something, don't meddle in it because you don't want to get yourself into trouble, and stuff. So I think I've just kind of always been more quiet about my opinions, quiet about what I felt was wrong, what I felt was unjust, that were happening, and I just kind of try and do the little things that I can do in secret. I just realized that because I came from a majority race back in Singapore, where I'm from, I've never personally experienced racism back there, but I would say that it does not mean that it doesn't happen to minority races like Malays or Indians or the Eurasians and Caucasians in Singapore. Yeah, I think only when I've come to a foreign place that I start to see that it does exist. Throughout this pandemic, I've experienced racism towards myself. But then when I hear all these things and when I experience these things, I go home and I just kind of forget about it. I recognize that it's something more serious, and there are people out there who need our help. Definitely 2020, during the Black Lives Matter protests and movement, it's really given me time to actually see. They really just showed me what it means to be united. It really showed me what it means to stand up for injustice, to stand up for people who are weaker, stand up for people who don't necessarily have a voice in society. And I think that was something that I was envious about, because I never really see that a lot in the Asian community, at least from what I've experienced. These people who come over to another country to try and make a living, they have their reasons, and it is not for us to judge and assume what those reasons are, especially our elders, who in the Asian community, at least as far as I know, they are the people that we respect the most. Even if they were not directly related to me, there is that automatic respect for them because they are probably the generation I know is the most hardworking. I know my parents to be the most hardworking people I know, and I honestly cannot see or imagine whatever that's happening out there to be happening to my grandparents or my parents. And I know that there are a lot of crises happening around the world right now, but I think one thing that I've learned is all of us, we have a space in our heart for something. And so if it breaks your heart, if it's something that like touches you, I feel like you should decide for it and do what you can for it. So yeah, I would really like to do something for my community today. I still have a lot to learn. I still have a lot to process, but I just didn't want to wait to a point where I felt like I was ready to talk about it, because I know that this is something that is going to be an ongoing thing. So yeah, I hope that this little project can serve as an opportunity for all of us to give towards a community that has been often quiet and yeah, I think they deserve to be recognized, to be heard, and to be supported as well. Thank you so much for taking the time to listen to me and to kind of hear about this course. I hope that you also find the time to go do your own research and stuff, and whatever speaks to you speaks to you. But other than that, I hope that you have a good day. I hope that you continue to stay safe. Let's raise some funds. Bye, guys. So I wanted to kind of like maybe explain the design that I've come up with. It's just something that I put thought into, and I hope that it speaks to you and it kind of serves as a reminder, because every aspect of this design has its own meaning. So let's just start with the beginning idea that I had. It's the Chinese character "人", which means human, or human being or person. This word, I feel like it's as simple as it is. It is straightforward. It is exactly what it means, and it is what I feel a lot of us and the world needs to understand, that we are just people. We are just human beings, and we're all the same. We are different, yes, in our different cultures, languages, understanding of life, the way we do things, the way we relate, the way we commune with one another. Yes, they're all different ways, but we are similar because we understand that there is life and there is death. You know, race is not that you don't see race, but you don't see that person as any less than you are. That's the main thing. That's why it's right in the center. Maybe it looks like a mountain as well. And for me, I felt that, you know, a person's decision and choice can become an obstacle to someone else. And I feel like that in itself is the act of racism. Not, it might be an obstacle towards that person that you're attacking, but also it becomes an obstacle to the rest of the community. If you think about it, it's just kind of recognizing that, you know, the choices that we make hold a lot of weight. The words and the things that we say hold a lot of weight. And so I think it just helps us to be a bit more considerate, a bit more kind, a bit more empathetic about what we give out to people around us, especially in this pandemic. The sun represents the East, and that is where Asia is located. It represents the continent of Asia, and also the background behind the word "人". It's if you see the little lines and boxes. When I was in school back in Singapore, I studied Mandarin because I'm Chinese, and so we always had this composition paper that we used in school, that we had to write compositions, we had to write essays on, and each box is for each character. You don't write, for example, 2 characters in one box, you write 1 character in one box. So I just kind of like had this thought that, you know, if you were to fill up each box with the word "人", with the word human, it represents that everybody has their own place on earth, and people can choose where they want to belong to and where they want to make a home. So with regards to hate crimes, it doesn't mean that you getting rid of someone else will give you more space. No, because you only have one box. Even though we are all different and we all have our separate boxes and different boundaries that we have around us, we all technically still belong to one piece of paper. We all still belong to one story. And you would see also that there are exactly 48 boxes that are colored in that composition background. That is to represent the 48 countries of Asia. There are not just to represent the East and Southeast Asian countries in Asia, but also the Central and West and East and South of Asia that I want to represent, because I think a lot of times we don't recognize that all Asians are different. And I think we just need to kind of recognize that there are a lot of different types of Asians. You know, God created us in our different ways, in our different races for a reason. We have our different cultures, and yes, we can take pride in them, but that does not mean that we tear someone else down. That's the design, that's the idea, that's what I want to bring forward. And I really hope that, you know, if you donate, if you purchase and all that, I hope that the prints will inspire you to continue to stand up for the people of all races, and especially now for the Asian community. So lastly, I wanted to kind of share with you where all of this is gonna go. With every print that is sent out, every donation that is in, we're gonna donate to this charity called the End the Virus of Racism. It is a non-profit charity here in the UK, and it was very difficult to find one that was specifically for the BC community. They have started up to take that place. I will put a link down in the description for you to check out, read up on what they are doing as well. Yeah, so go check it out. Take some time to think about it, and if you would like to, I would be very excited to send you some prints. I would be very excited to have you as part of this journey with me.